Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, April the 22nd, race number 9 at Keeneland. It's the Grade 3 Doubledogdare. $300,000 is the purse. Fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. Let's take a look at this field. Remember to view free Formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Once you take a peek of those, you can handicap along with us, and you can play the entire Keeneland Friday card with your DRF Bets account. Mike, it's the return to the races for the number 1 Malathot, who could be a very important horse in the Distaff division this year.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see her back. She was certainly the top 3-year-old filly in the country last year, Dan. She's odds on for her return here in the Doubledogdare, which just feels like a really good spot that Pletcher has found for her, Dan. She's not, facing the top of the division here.
And it doesn't look like she'll be adversely affected by any sort of pace scenario. She's adaptable. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. We see Malathot settling in 6th position early. Lady Mystify, super quick. These are fast horses. Whether they class up with a horse like Malathot, that's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could, look at either one of them and just feel like, they have a pretty significant pace advantage in this race. If they don't take any pressure up there, it's not like neither one of those two horses has ever run, a good race in their lives. They have. It's still a tough spot for them.
Let's take a look at Malathot's final start of 2021, the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Distaff. Mike, it was a race which featured a blistering pace. John Velasquez had Malathot well off of the pace and saving ground. She was in between horses on the turn. The winner got the jump on her. We see her getting banged around a little bit in upper stretch. All in all, it was a rock-solid effort down on the rail for third, beaten less than a length.
Yeah, I mean, she ran fine in this race. Certainly had a look at it there, a pretty big look at it there through the stretch. As you mentioned, got to save a lot of ground, did come together there. It looked like a couple of times with Dunbar Road, and just sort of got out finished at the end there. Not a bad performance and a new buyer top for her. She basically just ran really well. She's run well in all of her starts, Dan. I mean, the only 2 losses last year, that Breeders' Cup Distaff we just saw where she ran fine, and a brutal beat in the CCA Oaks where she just took tons of pressure on the lead and couldn't hold on.
She's obviously the horse to beat. The number 2, Super Quick, might be the horse to catch. This filly reeled off 3 consecutive victories to finish off her 2021 campaign. Last time out at the fairgrounds, she ran in an allowance race, but she caught a Grade 1 caliber filly in Clariere. No disgrace in losing that day, but she catches another tough field. She makes her stakes debut. She's going to hope to get loose and unpressured.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be hoping that she can just break running here, go to the lead in the 6 Lady Mystify, sort of sits off her a little bit and lets her get comfortable because it feels like it's the only way she can win, Dan. She did put together 3 nice victories in a row at the end of last year. I will just say last time, she was no match in there. That was a pretty solid pace she was going early in there. She was not walking on that lead. Maybe she gets a little more comfortable this time.
And if she does have the lead, she has the short stretch at a mile and a 16th at Keeneland that could work to her advantage. Audrey's time finished 3rd behind Clariere last time out. She's a likable mare that's just probably not graded stakes classed at this point. A stakes winner at the Fairgrounds 3-back. She had a look at the Houston Ladies Classic. Corey Lanerle gave her a nice ride, mid-pack, saved ground, eased out in the stretch. It took her a while to change leads, and once she did, she flattened out.
Yeah, she just hasn't run a race that's, really going to make her a real player in here. I don't think, assuming everybody else shows up, Dan, she lacks the upside of a lot of these horses as well. There's nothing wrong with her, and she might trip out in this race, but I just didn't feel like she was good enough to beat this field.
Now, Bonnie South, the number 4, is a graded caliber mare. She won this race last year, and she beat a good horse in Royal Flag in doing so. And she gave Latruska a little bit of a fight in the personal ensign 3 starts back, albeit she benefited from Latruska setting a very fast pace. Last time out in the Fall City, it was a sloppy track. Maybe it was just the culmination of a long year. I know it looks good on paper. Second in another graded stakes race, low 90 buyer, but she was no match for En Voutante.
Agreed. I didn't like her most recent start, but you mentioned all the reasons that maybe she deserves, a little bit of mitigation for it. I also didn't think she ran, necessarily her best race in the Spinster. Prior to that, I didn't like that performance too much either. Prior to that, I actually really liked some of her performances. You mentioned the personal ensign, where she did take advantage of a good pace, but I thought she ran well that day. I also felt like she ran well against Latruska at Belmont in that Ogden Fifth. I thought that was a really underrated performance from Bonnie South. If she can show up here off the bench and run one of her good races, she could give Malathot all she wants in this race.
Crazy Beautiful won a couple of Oaks races in 2021, the Summertime and the Delaware Oaks. Then she missed a little bit of time going into the Alabama. And since then, she's been okay, but maybe not to the snuff of her early 2021 campaign. Now, she won a stakes race at Turfway Park last time out, Mike, but I think she won that race on class alone. She had a very good trip. She was hard ridden on the turn. I don't think she handled the surface, yet she still got it done.
Yeah, I feel the same way about her most recent start. I'll give her credit just for handling the surface twitch and winning. But to be honest, it's a race that she was probably supposed to win. I don't know. I guess off the layoff, she had no chance in that race with Latruska, who was just breezing along with nobody challenging her. She still didn't run very well that day to be fourth, though. And when you start taking apart her 3-year-old campaign, she ran some nice races, but it was just more about, at least in my opinion, it was more about the way that McPeak handled her and just kept finding the right spots for her to run in.
Lady Mystify, the number 6, certainly has the tactical speed to be a forward factor. She won the Remington Oaks 3 starts back, but then in the Zia Park Oaks, she was odds on. She had an easy lead that day, and she was no match for Pauline's Pearl, who's a nice filly, but probably not up to the snuff of Malathot. And last time out in the Azeri, she just was probably in over her head to begin with against CC, but once she didn't make the lead, she didn't look happy.
Yeah, that wasn't a good performance last time. It was off the layoff. Maybe she needed the start. She comes back here in another pretty tough spot for Peter, and so maybe that's a good sign for her, Dan. I don't know. She ran some okay races towards the end of last year. I could certainly see her taking a step forward in this spot.
15-1 on the morning line for Lady Mystify, Prat, and Urton. Before we get to our top selections, remember to click on that subscribe button when you visit the YouTube channel for daily racing form. You can get all the latest videos from DRFTV. Here's our top pick for the Doubledogdare, and unsurprisingly, we're going to go with Malathot despite the layoff for Pletcher. I'm expecting a really good year.
I am too, and I just think Pletcher's found the perfect spot to bring her back in, Dan. He's really good off of layoffs anyway. I don't even feel like Malathot necessarily has to be, fully cranked to beat this field.
1456 for Mike, 1435 for me. The Friday race of the day. I double dog dare you to score on DRF Bets with Malathot at a short price.